Faun, the awakening of the woodland ruler. Long time ago, in a planet unknown to human scientists, there lived some creatures which moves with their spaceship about 100 years, traveling to another planet to take control over it, and this planet is known as Earth. In the land of the humans, there lived a man named Japa. He was a strong warrior, and his wife was pregnant with a boy child who was to be the ruler over the woods. A war came when this creature landed in Japa's town and destroyed everything. Japa tried to save his wife and his child. He told his wife to go into the woods. Japa went back to fight the creatures, but lost his life instead. In the woods, Japa's wife was about to give birth to his son, but she knew she will not make it. She gave birth to the child. Fortunately for her, a hunter came to hunt in the woods, saw her from afar, but it was too late. The woman gave the child to the hunter and told him to name him Faun, the name his father always wanted to call him, which means the ruler over the woods. George the hunter and his wife took Faun as their son since they had no child. Faun, who is handsome and intelligent young boy, goes to the woods with his father to hunt for wild animals, which will be sold in the market. Faun clocked 12, but he was never told the truth about his family and also about himself. He took Mr. George and his wife as his real parents. Faun turned to be a different boy. He doesn't play with any of his mates. All he does was to play with his pet, a parrot, which also looks beautiful. Anytime Faun goes to buy something for his parents, theirs is this three bullies, and this bullies always call him weak boy, and they're like fighting him anytime they see him going to buy something for his mother. When Faun clocked 18, there was a celebration of his birthday. At night, the ancient box in the woods, which was kept for thousands of years awaiting for the boy to be matured, was finally opened, and a magic light spot out and went in search of him. Faun finally got a job to be working for the local blacksmith in the village, a skilled man named Thorn, who was known for crafting the finest swords and shields. Thorn was tough but kind-hearted, and he saw potential in Faun, even though Faun had yet to discover his true destiny. Day after day, Faun worked hard, learning the art of forging weapons, oblivious to the great power that lay dormant within him. On the eve of his 19th birthday, strange things began to happen. Faun started having dreams, vivid, almost real, where he saw flashes of his father, Japa, fighting off monstrous creatures with a sword that gleamed like it was made from the stars themselves. He heard whispers in the wind, calling his name. At first, Faun ignored them, thinking it was just his imagination. But one night, during a fierce storm, the magic light that had been searching for him finally found him. The light burst through the window of his small room, illuminating every corner. Startled, Faun leapt out of bed, eyes wide with fear and awe. The light hovered in the air, pulsing with energy before it gently descended and entered his chest. He felt a surge of power like nothing he had ever experienced before. His body tingled, his senses sharpened, and in that moment, Faun knew that his life would never be the same. The next morning, Thorn noticed something different about Faun. The once shy and reserved boy now carried an air of confidence, though he tried to hide it. His movements were quicker, more precise, and the weapons he crafted seemed to possess an otherworldly quality. But Faun said nothing, unsure of what had truly happened. Days later, while walking through the village square, Faun encountered the three bullies who had tormented him for years. This time, instead of running or trying to avoid them, he stood his ground. The leader of the group, a brutish boy named Corin, sneered as he approached Faun, cracking his knuckles. "Well, well, if it isn't the weak boy," Corin mocked. "What are you going to do, run to your mommy and daddy?" Faun felt a strange calm wash over him. Without thinking, he raised his hand, and to his surprise, the air around him shifted. A gust of wind swept through the square, knocking Corin and his friends off their feet. The crowd gasped, and Faun stood frozen, staring at his own hand in disbelief. Later that evening, Faun returned home, confused and shaken. He decided to confront Mr. George and his wife. "Who am I really?" he asked, his voice trembling. "I know I am not your son. Please tell me the truth." George sighed, knowing the time had finally come. He led Faun to a hidden chest in their small home, one that had been kept sealed since the day Faun was brought into their lives. Inside, George revealed the last remnants of Faun's past, a small wooden carving of a deer, the symbol of his father's lineage, and an ancient map that led deep into the woods. "You are the son of Japa, a great warrior," George said quietly. "Your true destiny lies in the woods, but it is not for me to say more. The time has come for you to seek out the truth on your own." Determined to uncover the mystery of his origins, Faun set out into the forest, guided by the map and the newfound power coursing through his veins. Little did he know the creatures that had once destroyed his father's village were stirring again, and they were waiting for the return of the boy who was destined to rule the woods. Faun, the ruler of the woods. As Faun ventured deeper into the forest, he began to feel a connection to the land. The trees whispered to him, the animals moved out of his way, and the ground beneath his feet seemed to hum with energy. His journey had only just begun, but Faun knew one thing for certain. He was no longer the boy who had been bullied and belittled. He was something much more, something powerful, and soon the world would know it too.